these guys shouldn't fret about not getting drafted.
Now for your top undrafted free agent quarterback, who got a gem?
America's quarterback, Haynes King, going to the Carolina Panthers.
We're going to look at 10 guys who weren't drafted, but should make a huge impact on an NFL roster this upcoming season. Diego Pavia, quarterback. Pavia is one of the more polarizing quarterbacks that we've seen in recent years with an incredible story. He went from winning the NJCAA title in football with the New Mexico Military Institute in 2021 to turning New Mexico State into a competitive program and turning Vanderbilt into an SEC contender in his final 2 seasons of college football. He became the first Heisman Trophy finalist to go undrafted since 2014 and signed a 3-year deal with the Baltimore Ravens. If Pavia makes the final 53-man roster, he'll likely be the third-string quarterback behind Lamar Jackson and Tyler Huntley. Pavia is an incredible dual-threat quarterback who can nicely fit the Ravens' offensive mold, as he should learn a lot from Jackson and Huntley, who each have excellent veteran experience. Pavia will also have to go through the team's minicamp and learn the team's offense from offensive coordinator Declan Doyle. We look forward to seeing what Pavia can accomplish on an NFL roster, whether it's with the Ravens or another team later down the road. Haynes King, quarterback. King spent 6 years in college, splitting time between Texas A&M and Georgia Tech, where he led the Yellow Jackets to 3 straight bowl games, winning the 2023 Gasparilla Bowl 30-17 against UCF. King signed an undrafted free agent contract with the Carolina Panthers immediately after the draft concluded. Although King has an uphill battle to climb when competing for a roster spot, the Panthers might be able to utilize him in the short yardage run games for the upcoming season. Bryce Young has been bad at short yardage run games, like running their own tush push because Young is short. King, on the other hand, well, he can provide the Panthers with a guy who is good in short yardage situations, and he was one of the best rushers in college football during 2025. King is a great quarterback to have on a roster, just in case anything happens to Young or the newly signed Kenny Pickett during the regular season, and thus allows him to learn and improve his craft from veteran leadership. Le'Veon Moss, running back. Moss is an underrated running back who's shown during his collegiate days at Texas A&M. He rushed for 1,767 yards on 321 carries, scoring 22 rushing touchdowns and catching 24 receptions for 236 yards during his time with the Aggies. Unfortunately, Moss dealt with injuries during his time at Texas A&M, which cut his potential short and hurt his draft prospects, as he is a powerful runner when fully healthy. Moss recently signed a deal with the Miami Dolphins after going undrafted and can make a huge impact in the league with his elite tackle breaking, his running style, and his SEC experience. Sure, Deontae is still on the roster. However, Moss brings high-volume potential and is excellent in short yardage situations and can wear down defenders in the fourth quarter, making for a very nice compliment to HM. Moss has all the potential to become a starter in the future if he just stays healthy throughout his NFL career, and depending on what happens with HM during the 2026 season. Nadame Tucker, edge. Tucker began his collegiate career through the community college route until he made it to the University of Houston, but he didn't get much playing time with the Cougars. Tucker then transferred to Western Michigan and got more playing time, had 55 tackles, a pass deflection, and 14.5 sacks with the Broncos, tied for the most in the nation with David Bailey, who was drafted by the New York Jets, and earned the MAC Defensive Player of the Year award in the 2025 season. Tucker went undrafted in the 2026 NFL Draft and was signed by the Los Angeles Chargers immediately after the draft. Tucker brings elite production to the Chargers pass rush. He has a good relationship with the team's new defensive coordinator, Chris O'Leary, who was the defensive coordinator at Western Michigan during the 2025 season, and is a nice successor to Khalil Mack as the leader of the team's defense. Tucker could also make the roster by earning a spot on special teams during the regular season. Despite concerns with Tucker's size, being 6'1" and 247 pounds, and being a 26-year-old rookie, he has all the talent to make it to the Chargers' final 53-man roster and cause some havoc against opposing offenses from the get-go. Plus, learning from Mack is a huge plus. Logan Fano, defensive lineman. Fano is a defensive tackle who spent his collegiate career playing for the Utah Utes alongside his brother Spencer Fano, who the Browns drafted with the 9th pick of the 2026 NFL Draft. Logan may not have had the resume like his brother did, but he contributed to the Utes with 50 tackles, 10.5 sacks, 4 pass deflections, 3 forced fumbles, and 2 fumble recoveries in his 3 seasons with the team. Although Fano dealt with injuries during his time in college, he can be very effective when healthy. After going undrafted, the Browns signed Fano to a deal, getting him on the same team as his brother Spencer. Logan is a decent-sized defensive tackle and can become a contributor on special teams and step in on defense, depending on if he stays healthy during the 2026 season. As, honestly, the Browns didn't really draft that many defensive players during the draft. There's nothing more special than playing on the same football team with a brother. Hopefully, Logan Fano makes the final 53-man roster and plays alongside his bro during the regular season. Jeff Caldwell, wide receiver. Caldwell is considered one of the biggest undrafted free agent steals after the 2026 NFL Draft, signing a deal with the Kansas City Chiefs. Caldwell went undrafted due to his unrefined route running and inconsistent hands. He needs to smooth out the rougher edges of his performance in games. Caldwell did have a decent season with the Cincinnati Bearcats in 2025, as he caught 32 passes for 478 yards and scored 6 touchdowns. Caldwell will bring elite speed to the Chiefs' passing attack, as he ran a 4.31 during the 40-yard dash and recorded a 1.48-second 10-yard split. Caldwell looks to be a guy who will fit in very nicely in head coach Andy Reid's and offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy's system. They'll also help clean up and improve his game, making him a mainstay on the Chiefs' offense. Caldwell joins a receiver room that has Xavier Worthy and Rashee Rice, and if he makes the final 53-man roster, he'll fit right in. On top of that, it'll be very nice to see Caldwell catch passes and score touchdowns for Patrick Mahomes, as he has the athletic potential to become one of his new favorite targets in the upcoming regular season, making other teams regret not drafting him. Michael Trigg, tight end. Trigg spent the majority of his collegiate career bouncing around a few college football teams via the transfer portal until he found his footing with the Baylor Bears. Trigg caught 80 receptions for 1,089 yards and scored 9 touchdowns in his 2 years at the Bears. Even though Trigg went undrafted, the Dallas Cowboys signed him to a deal, as he has the potential to become a red zone threat despite some character concerns and being an inconsistent blocker. Trigg will have to improve his blocking and hone in on his technique, and he possesses rare arm length, which is a perfect asset to have when going down the field. Trigg also has to improve at trying to catch a pass in heavy traffic, even though his arm length gives him the potential to make scoring plays in the red zone. Trigg and his elite physical traits make him a great developmental tight end to have on the Cowboys roster. And he should work well with Dak Prescott, head coach Brian Schottenheimer, and offensive coordinator Clayton Adams' system for the 2026 season. And hey, even if Trigg doesn't make the Cowboys' final roster, he should be able to find his footing with another NFL team. Deontae Lawson, linebacker. Lawson went undrafted in the 2026 NFL Draft due to teams being concerned about his injury history and athletic limitations. Lawson had 283 tackles, 6.5 sacks, 16 pass deflections, an interception, 3 forced fumbles, and 3 fumble recoveries during his time with the Alabama Crimson Tide. Lawson was also considered undersized for a modern NFL linebacker, standing at 6'2" and weighing 226 pounds. The Philadelphia Eagles signed Lawson as an undrafted free agent, as he has the potential to make a good depth player for the roster with Nakobe Dean gone. Lawson possesses a high football IQ, brings leadership, toughness, and is a great downhill defender who isn't afraid to challenge opposing blockers. This man should be a great fit for defensive coordinator Vic Fangio's system and schemes for the upcoming 2026 season. Lawson is also a strong cover guy with great agility in space and makes for a great rotational player. Not to mention, is an effective blitzer, generating 52 pressures as a member of the Crimson Tide. Lawson will have to earn his stripes for the Eagles, but we hope that he makes that final roster and makes a real name for himself in the city of brotherly love. J. Michael Sturdivant, wide receiver. Sturdivant is a talented wide receiver who has bounced around different collegiate teams via the transfer portal and had a disappointing final season with the Florida Gators, catching 27 receptions for 406 yards and scoring 3 touchdowns. Yet, he didn't have a good situation at quarterback through his college years either. Not to mention, the 2026 draft class was deep with a lot of wide receivers, and he was just kind of underutilized with the Gators in his final year with the team. Despite that, the Green Bay Packers signed Sturdivant with the hopes that he'll bring his elite physicality, and honestly, he should just be a good fit in their system. Sturdivant ran a 4.40 during the 40-yard dash at the NFL Combine. He has a 6'3" frame, weighs 210 pounds, and had a vertical jump of 39 inches, making for a good receiver to develop on the Packers roster. Sure, the Packers still have Christian Watson on the team, but injuries have hurt his play, and he's scheduled to be a free agent in the 2027 offseason. With Dontavian Wicks traded to the Eagles and Romeo Doubs with the New England Patriots, Sturdivant has the potential to make the final 53-man roster and become a rotational receiver for Jordan Love to throw receptions and make some noise in the end zone. Taurean York, linebacker. York was projected to be a mid to late round draft pick, but he ended up going undrafted in the 2026 NFL Draft, as he stands at 5'10" and weighs 226 pounds. He was productive during his collegiate days at Texas A&M with 229 tackles, 6.5 sacks, 7 pass deflections, a forced fumble, a fumble recovery, and an interception. The Denver Broncos signed York to a deal and may have gotten a steal, as he possesses a high football IQ, is a hard hitter, and has leadership experience that suits the team very well. York would be a great fit for defensive coordinator Vance Joseph's system, and potentially have a significant role on the Broncos' special teams. York also has a team-first mentality, has great maturity, and outstanding speed, playing with intensity at every snap. It's never easy for an undrafted player to earn a roster spot in the NFL, but we have full confidence that York can do it. But hey, what undrafted free agent do you think will make a huge impact on an NFL roster this upcoming season? Were there any notable names that we may have missed? Let us know in the comment section below. But hey, if you like this video and learned a thing or two, then clicking the like button helps us out a ton. And you know, we really appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, then subscribing is a great idea, because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.